Usually I wouldn't be giving my entire crux of the argument at the beginning of this video, but I'm just gonna say it just for the people who aren't gonna stay for the entire video and my whole response to everything. I'm in no way, shape, or form am I going to be excusing doxing or harassment. Just not gonna do it. It's terrible. You're a terrible person if you do that. We will be talking about that. I will be going over the entire situation, but point blank period, you're scum. Please go put yourself in an oven and turn it on. Okay, that's too much, but like, go to jail. Like, you're not a good person. However, when it comes to voting for somebody's gonna sit in the chair at the end of the day. I don't really have a problem with who you vote for, but if you choose to give money to someone when you do not have to, I'm gonna shit on you for that. Like, don't let other people fool you. This man chose to give money to people who might use it to do terrible things. That's what happened. No one forced his arm. He didn't have to. It wouldn't like, oh, well, no matter what he did. No, voting is different. That is kind of like somebody's gonna be there. Might as well pick the better of the options. He did not have to give that money. Oh, I know this person's a serial killer and like, yeah, they said they might kill like 14 kids with the money I give them, but you have to understand, they also give to like St. Jude's. So like, the other guy doesn't give to St. Jude's. What? So I'm now going to proceed to criticize his actions, not condoning the doxing, just trying to make that plain and simple at the beginning here. All right. Hi guys, it's Luna. Welcome back. Today we're gonna talk about something that's kind of old and I'm kind of late to the party, but I'm gonna talk about anyways. The whole Scott Cawthon thing. Now, I'm someone who was really into the Freddy Fazbear lore and shit like that, like some years back. But then like game theory started running it through the mud and I was like, I'm over this. The timelines started getting a little bit too confusing and the games were just so I'm not a fan, let's say that. But Scott Cawthon seemed like a pretty alright guy. Now the controversy starts because apparently donations, specifically political donations, I think all donations, but political donations are a public thing. And someone was like, hey, Scott donated to a bunch of people and they're not very savory. And someone kind of just made that known and y'all know Twitter. What? You donate to unsavory people? And then, you know, they find where you live. Which is not even a joke, by the way. But before we get into that, let's talk about exactly what people made people mad and for what reasons. Now, this is all coming from an Kotaku article because I don't get into political stuff, so take everything I'm saying with a grain of salt. But he gave to people like Mitch McConnell. I believe that was one of the largest donations. Apparently, Mitchie here, just last week, which this was made the 14th, I believe, opposed the Voter Rights Act, and apparently it was to stop states like Georgia and Florida from imposing border restrictions that predominantly affect people of color. He's not great. He's not great is what I'm trying to say. There's people like Tulsi Gabbard. I don't really care. They introduced a bill that would make it illegal to permit a person who is biologically sexed at birth is male to participate in athletic programs or activities that are designed for women and girls. So basically, like trans women can't participate in stuff that's supposed to be for girls in like high school or college sports and things like that. And she was introducing this bill. So she was like, I think this should be a thing. People like Ben Carson, him and Trump tried to impose a rule that prohibits trans women from seeking refuge in federally funded women's homeless shelters, which, okay, this is getting bad, actually. If any of this is true. Again, I don't know. This is from Otaku. I don't get into political stuff again. And of course, he gave to Donald Trump, which that man's like, you don't even have to know about politics to know that that's like, why would you do that? I understand maybe giving to people around him that make more sense or something, but like, what? He banned trans people from the military, rolled back healthcare protection for trans people, tried to eliminate protection protection from LGBT plus people from workplace discrimination. So this man has done a lot. I think you'd have to be stupid to act like you don't know that this man is scummy, but we all were here for his 4 years. 2 years? Feels like 8 years. Feels like he's been here for 8 years. So I don't even know. But again, that's all coming from the Kotaku article that I'll link in the description below. And again, I don't personally follow politics, so I personally can't tell you. But he also did give to a lot of people who were in support of minority groups and trying to actually help people, which I don't know who they are and it doesn't actually really matter. My point is, because he gave to those specific people, people were kind of in our uproar, especially people who were in the LGBT plus community, which I can understand. I honestly, just giving to Donald Trump makes me feel like, I don't care what he did, why would you do that? Why? I don't understand. But people went on then to dox him and threaten his family, and that's where I'm just like, no. What? You cannot like someone, you cannot like their views, how they feel, all of that. But doxing people is just not okay. There's just no justification for it, period. His pregnant wife didn't do anything. His maybe other kids, they didn't do anything. His family did not do anything. You shouldn't be doxing people for any reason, and this is not even kind of a good reason. I give money to people all the time that I find out are fucking pedophiles. What do you mean? Because I'm like, oh, I want to give to this artist, or I want to donate to this person. I'll just donate, and I find out, oh, they're not shit, or I'll donate to this group or organization. I'm like, oh, there's literally years of bullshit behind them. Hell, we all thought the BLM organization, you know what I'm talking about, was cool and alright. Then we found out there was a lot of money that went missing, and we just like, what happened? And you wouldn't think that. You would think, oh, I'm giving to a good cause. Then you find that out and you're like, I don't think I should have donated to this place. Plus, a lot of these donations, we don't know when they were made. We don't know if they're made all one time. We don't know if they were made because he just gave to... We don't know. So, it could be he donated, and I believe he talks about this later, but he donated for one reason, and you find out this person's a whole another type of crazy. Or you find out that you didn't look into it all the way. Or you didn't know they had all these other things. It's like, it's not an unrealistic situation. Again, I gave two examples. I do it all the time where I donate to people, I give money to people, I help people out, and then I find out later that like, oh, you murdered somebody? Or, oh, you said the N-word? Oh, my money. I want it back. But you can't take it back. And to be fair, I would give that to Scott, but when I'm reading later on, you'll understand that it didn't seem like that was the case. Especially because he's trying to present it as if he knows what he's talking about, or like how what he's talking about makes sense when it doesn't. And it's like, no, that doesn't make sense. Stop. You really don't know what the fuck you're talking about. You just won't believe what you want to believe, which is fine. Just don't. Anyways, we haven't got to that part yet. But let's read his statement on the matter, because obviously he had to say something. At that point, he was doxxed. People were calling him a transphobe. People were calling him all types, you know? And this is his business. This is his company. And so he did. And what he said kind of made me not feel bad for him anymore. I'm sad that he was doxxed. That's a shitty thing to do, and again, never acceptable. But this is definitely me coming from a place of like, I'm criticizing what he said and did. I do not, and I'm not okay with the doxing. I am just criticizing his stance on the matter. Doxing is not okay. I feel like I have to say that every 5 seconds. So Scott replied to this whole entire drama or controversy or whatever in a Reddit thread, which Reddit thread responses have never been good, and this is no exception. Excuse my reading, there's gonna be a lot of sniffles in between, so it might be weirdly chopped up. I've debated greatly on how best to address this, including not addressing it at all, but with so many people from the LGBT community in the fan base that I love, that's not an option. I'd like to think that the last 7 years would have given me the benefit of the doubt in regards to how I tried to treat people, but there I was, trending on Twitter for being a homophobe, getting doxxed, with people threatening to come to my house. My wife is 6 weeks pregnant, and she spent last night in fear because of what was being said online. She has already been struggling with her pregnancy, so seeing her so afraid really scares me. All this because I exercise my right and my duty as an American citizen to vote for and support the candidates who I felt could best run the country for everyone, and that's something that I won't apologize for. For those of you who took the time time to look, you saw that the candidates I supported included men, women, white people, black people, Republicans, and Democrats. I supported Kimberly, I can't say her last name, in Baltimore because I believe that she really cared for the African American community and wanted to pull them out of poverty. But what about the people who have done things that have actively hurt the LGBT people? Like, you can't ignore that. Either you said what you said, like, or it's not. But don't try to be like, well, look, I helped other people. It's like, just because you killed 10 kids doesn't mean you can come up and be like, look, I donated to this, like, Make-A-Wish. You know what I mean? But you still killed those kids. Like, you can't ignore that. I believe she could really make a difference in the time when so many black communities were struggling. She lost, unfortunately, and I supported Tulsi Gabbard, a Democrat, even though I disagreed with her on several issues because I felt she would have been a good and fair president. And yes, I supported Donald Trump because I felt, and I'm not calling him President Trump, because I felt he was the best man to fuel a strong economy and stand up to American enemies abroad, of which there are many. Even if there were candidates who had better things to say to the LGBT community directly and bigger promises to make, I believe that their stance on other issues would have ended up doing much more harm to those communities than good. All this explanation, I fear, is wasted as most people don't want to discuss with one another anymore. They want endless apologies and submissions. People who are expecting those from me will get neither. I've always been supportive of creators and I have tried to treat everyone fairly and treat everyone with dignity and respect. I've never cared about anyone's race, religion, gender orientation. I treat people as people, everyone the same, and because of that, I've ended up with a very diverse group of people that I've worked with over the years. It wasn't intentional, it just happened that way. I choose people who are best for the job, I treat everyone the same, and I ended up with people from all walks of life in my professional life and my personal life as well. That's the way it should be. That's the way I want it to be. That's the way I will continue to be. I'm a Republican, I'm a Christian, I'm pro-life. I believe in God. I also believe in equality, in science, and in common sense. Despite what some may say, all those things can go together. That's not an apology or a promise to change. It's the way it's always been. You need to go. I'm doing something.
I need something.
I don't have anything for you. I don't have nothing for you. I have nothing. If I get canceled, then I get canceled. I don't do this for money anymore. I do it because I enjoy it. If people think I'm doing more harm than good now, then maybe it's better off I get canceled and retire. I would accept that. I've had a full career. Besides, most things people can take from you are things you never had much value to begin with. I've always loved and will continue to love this community and fan base, even if someday it doesn't include me anymore. Okay, there's a lot to unpack there, and I'm gonna say all my opinions at the end because the video's getting long. After all of that, he actually ended up just announcing his retirement because I guess he was just done with it all. And it's a retirement, and it's not really, but let's wait until the end, you know. Anyways, this is what it said. Before I say anything else, check out this awesome piece of fan art. Pretty amazing stuff, right? I have boxes and boxes of artwork like this from fans that I've saved over the years. I've tried to answer as many letters as I could, and I apologize to anyone that I missed somehow. Someday, when I have a bigger living room, maybe I'll make a giant collage of all the fan art I've collected. Stuff like this has made it all worthwhile to me over the last 7 years. I've had a blessed, fulfilling, and rich career. I've been showed great kindness, and I have tried to show great kindness in return. Oh, this is long. I've tried to make some good games, let the debate ensue, and I've witnessed the creation of possibly the most creative and talented fan base on the planet. But here on the 7th anniversary of the first game trailer, as I realized that I was in my mid-30s when I created the series and now I'm approaching my mid-40s, I realized that I missed a lot of things that I've gotten to focus on before FNAF became such a success. I miss making games for my kids. I miss doing it just for fun. I miss making RPGs even though I stink at it. All of this to say that I am retiring. I have been shown tremendous love, support over the last week, a lot of which comes from the LGBT community. The kindness shown to me has been surreal. Is this the end of FNAF? No. This just means that someone else will eventually be running the show. Someone of my choosing, someone that I trust. We will have to wait and see how it all plays out, but an announcement will be made at some point. I have 6 kids now. Although one of them is currently the size of a blueberry, I love them dearly. They are my whole world, my whole universe. I want to focus my attention on them, focus on protecting them, and spending time making things for them. I only ask my fan base to respect my decision. I will still be around, just not in the capacity that I used to be. What a blessed career I've had, what wonderful people I've met, and what tremendous blessing to have been able to know all of you. Thank you so much. See you on the flip side. Now I'm basing my opinion off of the statements that he has made, and that's just my opinion. I'm not even we're not even thinking about people harassing or doxing him, because I believe you're a terrible person if you did that. You're actually scum. You're actually a grifter. Like you belong under the dirt. You're the worst person. Like, go to jail. Nobody likes you. You're a piece of shit. I don't approve of that, nor am I okay with that, nor am I trying to make excuses for that. You're just shitty. That's a shitty thing to do. Don't harass, threaten, or dox somebody like you're a monster. Like, what? So this is all judging what he's saying and critiquing that. If you're harming him or trying to harm his family or doing something that's detrimental to, don't fucking do that. With that being said, you're a grown man, Scott. You're 40. Take responsibility for your actions. You do not have to give those people money. Like, stop the crocodile tears. Like, that shit. Like, shut up. Like, I get it. You feel the way you feel. I don't think anybody should be judged entirely for their political stance. But also, I'm giving you money. Like, I'm paying your bills. Like, your children are eating and resting in a nice home, you and your 6 kids, because of me. Like, I'm giving you money. I'm supporting you. I'm supporting what you do. I'm making fan art. I'm doing everything. Whether I'm a fetus, like one of your fetus fans, or I'm a grown person. Either way, even if I'm the parent of the fetus, either way, I want to know what I'm putting my money into. So people that are shitting on him, who are disappointed with him, all of those things, I understand. I'm not here for the whole I stand with Scott, because I don't. You literally support and supported people taking rights away from other people. That's what you did. You knew that that's something they might do because they told you. You are a grown man, you can read like everybody else. If a policy seems like it might be taking somebody's rights, hell, pro-life period is taking away somebody's right. If that is what's happening and you are supporting that, you are a grown man, you're 40. I'm not making excuses for you. You're not a baby. You're not a teenager. You made a decision to give to those causes. You're making a decision to believe those things. Does that mean that you're the worst person in the world? No. But I'm definitely gonna shit on you because maybe I didn't know that was your stance. I didn't know you were giving to those people. I didn't know this, that, and the third. If you were very open about being Christian, okay, my mom's Christian, but it was taking away anybody's rights about anything. Guess who's not doing it? Guess who doesn't care about her Christianity? Also, as someone who used to be Christian and iffy about God, yeah, this has nothing to do with your Christianity. It means absolutely nothing. Any of this is your own personal beliefs. I'm not saying he said it. I'm just saying if you think it has anything to do with him being Christian, it doesn't. These are his own personal beliefs. Bible says nothing about any of this anywhere. In some cases, quite the opposite, actually. Like, there's so much context and text that people actively ignore. It's a whole thing. It's too much. But I'm gonna keep my mouth off that. You're point blank saying that all of things that you believe politically overtake somebody's human rights. That's just not okay. It's just not. I don't care. I don't care how you feel. I don't care. It's not. That's my thing. Like, if you have a difference of opinions, in my opinion, because I don't even do politics like that, but if you have a difference in opinion of like what I should do in a situation, that's different from, no, you can't have the abortion because I feel like science says different. Remember science, that thing that you said you believed in? Science says different, but I feel like you shouldn't have a choice in the matter. Or I feel like when you're doing stuff like that, when you're completely blocking out science to push some agenda that you have because you feel a certain way, because you grew up that way, that is where it's like, fuck you. I don't stand with that. No. As a woman, no. Like, I feel like people really think women use abortions like it's birth control. Like, that's not a thing. Like, alright. Anyways, like, birth control exists. But even now, you're trying to bullshit and manipulate people. That's kind of what it seems like. Because your statement on your website, let me tell you guys something that he's trying to fluff around. He's going to still be collecting money. You are going to give money that he is going to give to whoever he sees fit when he obviously has not done his research or he doesn't care enough to. Because again, if you think these people might use it for bad and there's just nothing you can do about it, you don't have to give money. I think I've said this before, or at least I've said this in my life. A vote is something where it's like, it's inevitable. Like Donald Trump, it was either going to be the president or he wasn't, but like you have to, like one of the two outcomes is going to happen. Giving someone money that they might use for evil. I don't care if the serial killer is giving to Make-A-Wish. He's killed 7 kids and is probably going to use the money to kill more. He said it actually in a statement that you can look up because you're a grown man and you can read. I'm gonna kill about 16 more kids. Are you gonna be like, well, but he gave to Make-A-Wish, so like, don't even worry, like, he may not use it to kill the kids. Like, we're not playing that game. We're not gonna act like, we're not gonna do that. That's not gonna happen. But you guys are gonna still give him money. If you still continue to give him money, then if something else comes out or he gives to somebody else, don't act like he's not even attached to the franchise anymore. The money is still going in his pocket. You are still feeding his family and feeding his bullshit ideals that he will now give money to other people's bullshit ideals. You are doing that. You are actively doing that and participating in that. Do not let you guys being fetuses fool you, but also, you know, don't fucking harass people like psychopaths. You know, there's also that. You could just not do. Anyways, and so later, Bibzy came into the mix because she thought that it was a good idea to pop off on a private Twitter. And again, I'm not even gonna read her response. Well, no, I'll read it just because I'll read the screenshots I was given. Bibzy said regarding the Scott situation, the best part to me is he lists all this shit, but considering Republican politics, he's basically saying that his Christian pro-life stance outweighs his stance on science and equality and everything else that they actively work against law. And to be fair, I agree with her wholeheartedly. That's literally what he's saying. Again, I'm not standing by nor saying I agree with anybody doxing him. I'm gonna say that vehemently throughout this entire thing. That is not cool. But basically that's what he's saying, is that I believe in science, but also I don't care about the science about this because I just believe what I believe. And it's like, okay, well then you don't. It's a pick and choose battle then. Don't act like, what? It's more of I believe in science when it's convenient. And at that point, just say that, like, why even put that part in there? Don't bullshit around it. Cancel culture is used incorrectly consistently by creators or powerful people since I made this tweet, but it is still a thing that happens and it is bad. Absolutely. I don't think anyone should be attacked. I had never once condoned that, and I think everyone should be able to change. And this is the thing that she's talking about. She's referencing that tweet made in like 2019, but she continues to say, I made a reply about thinking a statement made by a guy I don't give two shits about was blatantly contradictory and funny based on politics. It was basically Twitter hot take and it had consequences. Ironically, people assumed the worst in harassing me about it. Go fucking figure. And that's true, because people will be like, okay, well, you shouldn't be because Scott is but you're doing the exact same thing to her. It wasn't even a hot take. He straight up is contradicting himself. Like, she's not wrong. Where's the lie? Point out the lie that she said, because she's not wrong. And if she feels that way, she can feel that way, and if you don't agree with her, that's fine, but people went on to attack her, so it doesn't even make sense. She continues on to say, also, to all those accusing me of hypocrisy because I tweeted about hating cancel culture, I still do for when it's happening. I even had said there are dangerous people out there. I do think donating to groups who do actively harm to others counts within that, but that's all. It's really funny to see people who have defended a creator from unfair or unjust harassment suddenly act betrayed by that creator when they do/say something they don't like. Maybe that's how a lot of people feel a lot of the time. Maybe we should just always be against against harassing of creators, whether we are critical of them or not. Food for thought. I will never be okay with harassment, but criticism is a constant when you make literally anything. Like at the end of the day here, Bibzy told no lies. She can hate cancel culture while also hating what Scott did. She's not approving of monstrous harassment and shit, but if people are saying here like, hell no, we don't approve of your views. A majority of us don't want to give you money anymore. We don't want to support your shit because you support people who take away people's... If that is their feelings, they have all the rights to take away their money and their support. It's a fucking free country. Just like you have the right to give the money, we have the right to take it away. What are you mad for? Why is everybody angry? For what? Because I don't want to support you anymore? I don't have to. I don't have to give you money because you want it. It's not you like that money is a privilege. It is your choice and your right whether you want to support me or not, or give me money. Please give me money. I'm so poor. I'm so poor. But you don't have to. It's not a requirement. So if people are saying they don't fuck with them anymore, okay, that's the end of that. No, I'm not gonna sit here and support someone who's supporting shit like that. Like I don't have to. I'm not going to. And like you can suck my ass at that point. Do I support any of the harassment? No, that's fine. You cannot support that because I don't. I think people are like, you're a dirtbag. Like it's just what it is. But I'm just not gonna give you money nor support your shit. FNAF is dead to me. I'll probably bootleg your games if I cared that much, which I don't even care that much. I've never played FNAF and I don't plan to, but if I ever do, because of whatever reason I'm bootleg it, I really will. And that'll just be the end of it. You're a great creator, but that doesn't mean anything. I can find other scary games. I don't have to support you just because even if I did like your game, that's a great memory. Like it's a video game. I don't have to be that attached to where now I have to keep supporting you because I used to like the game so much. Like other video games exist. Stop. Like anyways, I'm gonna go because if you can't hear the incessant basketball dribbling, like just take it to the playground. I'm gonna go. I'll see you guys later. Someone please end my suffering. Goodbye.
We could have been stardust, same world but without us. Something made us find each other out there.